One of the many unfortunate side effects of this clown system some people have so kindly built for us, little peasants. We didn't ask for it. We didn't ask, so we can be put into this system, but they put us here anyway. It is what it is. Thanks guys who built this. You were geniuses, but you used that genius to make our nervous system sympathetic AF. Most people who really into this system, their nervous system is completely messed up. When's the last time your nervous system entered into the parasympathetic nervous system state, which is the natural state of the nervous system, when everything is basically chill, everything's relaxing, grounded, natural. That's where your nervous system be when you are ass in the nature. You're sitting under the tree, or in the beach, or in the ocean, in the forest. That's where your nervous system be. But this system, and the funny thing about it is, people, the normies, who really still, by whatever brainwashing, hypnosis they have going on in their brains, who still haven't figured this shit out. Guys, what the fuck is taking you so long? How fucking bad does it have to be before you wake up to this nonsense? But those normies who still champion for this system, even though they the lowest of the low peasants, they still champion for the system. For the bankers, for the corporations, for the big pharma, the medical establishment. That's so funny about it, that some of the normies who are absolute freaking peasants, they're still the championing for this matrix. Like they own it, like they build it. Bitch, your last name ain't Rockefeller. Your cousins ain't Rothschilds. Bitch, you ain't part of the black nobility. Calm your tits down. Your grandfather wasn't part of the Jesuits. Chill. Anyway, what I was talking about is so funny that some of these people even put themselves to the sympathetic nervous system like they're so addicted to that sympathetic. And I understand, I was in that state for years when I was abusing my body with over-exercising, being that athlete, drinking coffee daily. Like I was on that sympathetic nervous system big time. And now that I'm not, the difference is massive on your day-to-day conscious well-being, like how you feel. And long term, it's gonna wreck your ass real bad. Being in that sympathetic nervous system, you're basically flying really close to the sun, burning your resources super fast, and that's gonna lead to big grave. And so many people are building themselves this grave day by day, month by month, year by year, until they get really punched into the freaking nose, slapped into the face. They might get little bitch slaps here and there, but if they're really hypnotized, they ain't gonna wake up, they, they need to get that big disease, that C word disease. Like something really big needs to punch them, so they wake up from this state. And they put themselves day by day even more so into the sympathetic state by doing the basic normie things, sitting in under blue light all day, not going into nature, eating shitty ass food, rubbish food, over-exercising, not listening to their bodies at all. Their circadian rhythms are completely messed up. They're caffeinating themselves. They're basically running on sugar and caffeine. And that's just gonna expedite their demise. It's just gonna what's the right English word I'm looking for? Sometimes my Finnish brain only comes up with the Finnish words. And sometimes it's actually the opposite. When I talk to people in Finnish in real life, I'm having sometimes hard time because I'm studying all these, most of the things in English, like all of the things in English. Sometimes I come to the words that I have actually not, I don't know what it really is in Finnish anymore even. Like my brain is, one part is super English, one part is kinda Finnish. Sometimes they kinda don't mix up so well in regular speech, even in real life. Like I'm trying to explain something to some people that I've been studying in English, and my brain is like, what the hell is these words in Finnish? Anyway, man-made languages, who gives a fuck? Move on. But yeah, these guys, they don't even got the taste of the sympathetic nervous system anymore, because they put themselves on the sympathetic nervous system even more so that the modern culture and society, work life, basically forces you into. But anyway, I got to just that reindeer. The reindeers and the Lapland, they're in this parasympathetic nervous system all the time. They're chilling all the time, except the ones who need to freaking do the sled rides, because they do those in the Lapland. I was thinking, I got that one video from Lapland when I was petting the one reindeer. I was thinking maybe she or him, I think it was she reindeer, she was so exhausted because she was doing some of those sled rides for the tourists, that's why she didn't stand up when I got close to him, and she let me pet her. That's also one thing I always mess up in English, him and her, because in Finnish it's one single word, it's hän in Finnish, but in English they got the genders involved. In Finnish we're a little bit more conservative, a little bit more traditional, we only need one word. We don't need to get the gender politics involved. But Freemasons probably created English anyway, so I don't really know. But anyway, I was thinking about this because yesterday I was talking to one of my students, who's this young woman in his mid-20s, so very young, but also already very fucked up in many ways, health-wise. And she's very much so in the sympathetic nervous system all the time, and I always joke with her. Like I don't speak like this to her, but I always try to poke at her routines a little bit, like you should see this side of the story. Maybe you should start to change because it's not looking good right now. And it has been a trend. I have known her for at least a year and a half. And the trend concerning her health, it's not looking that great, and I'm always like poking a little bit, but we ain't like that close that I can just go. Maybe I should go like, listen up. Here's how you fix your life, your health, because soon you don't got no health, and you're 25, and it's looking real bad, real blank. And she was actually like very high level athlete in Finnish level in one sport, and still very very athletic young woman. Like if the normies would see her, they would be like, oh, she must be extremely healthy. But in reality, she's always stressed out. Her mind doesn't work really. That's very obvious. She always have pain in her joints. Her skin health is very bad. A lot of acne in the face, which she covers with the makeup, but she also has a lot of acne on her back. Again, adrenaline, cortisol, way too high. That's what I had a year ago this time. I've talked about it a lot. My whole back was covered in acne. Now I basically have no acne. Just a teeny tiny bit sometimes, but I've basically cured all my acne. But anyway, she has that. Always stressed out, and she's one of those persons that can't sit still. That's one of the biggest indicators. You cannot enter parasympathetic nervous system. Some trouble at sleeping, which will get worse if she continues. Insomnia is gonna be your friend or your worst enemy, in fact, if you continue this bad. Her work is just office job, sitting under blue lights all day and being radiated by computers, Wi-Fi's, radio signals, non-native EMFs. And she always when we see, she's like, I'm so stiff, super stiff. Like this work is killing me, even though I'm just sitting in front of the computer 8 hours a day, and then I'm always like, isn't it funny that you could sit 8 hours in nature under a tree in the forest or whatever, 8 hours a day, and you would feel refreshed. You would feel like new person, completely relaxed. If your mind could handle that, because in the sympathetic nervous system your mind is also, it doesn't function, but it is in chaotic state all the time. Like the thoughts are just penetrating your consciousness, and they ain't the good kind of thoughts most of the time probably. But there's no peace. And you cannot think straight. It's all chaotic. So anyway, if you would sit 8 hours in the nature, you would be like a new person. But you sit inside into this man-made room under the man-made lighting with these man-made electrical computer systems, 8 hours. And the work other than that is not that stressful, what I understand. Like the work relationships and all that kind of stuff is not that bad. that can be also one big reason why everybody's, or it is one of the big reasons, toxic relationships. But you see it in that man-made little workplace you got, like a good worker doing that work for the society so you can pay taxes. Most of these jobs are just complete nonsense when you start to think about the root causes of this and what they're really producing and who they are really producing to and what the effects are of these products. But anyway, the whole freaking point, I always go with big ass tangents. The whole freaking point was that you sit in that room and you're stiff as hell, your mind doesn't work, your body doesn't work, everything just falls apart day by day. But you sit 8 hours in the nature, you renovate it, you're like a new person, everything works perfectly. That's it. Sympathetic nervous system disease basically means slave mode on. And one woman, my sister, who's much younger than me, she has dug herself into a deep hole. I'm gonna talk about that in a future video. But the point here is that I see so many young women especially, because men are just giving up. Men don't even care about the system anymore. Men are just broken. Most of them. And men can handle the system a little bit better, at least the high testosterone men, who still got a body and mind that works somewhat. They can handle the system a little bit better. It's not good for them either, but they can handle it a little bit better. But the women who go into this system, because women are more social creatures and they want to make their parents proud, they don't want to look like losers to their friends. They have to be doing this and that, this hobby and that hobby. I missed the point that when we were talking last week, I was talking about I went to the lab land and all that, and she was talking about she had still work, but most of her hobbies were on a break because it was the winter break week here, and she was completely like lost because she didn't got her hobbies that make her more exhausted week by week. But she just couldn't sit still. Like, that's one of the main problems being in the sympathetic nervous system mode. You just can't sit still even though you're exhausted. It's this destructive loop that you really need that freaking punch on the face to break free from that. Like, she gets little slaps, little bitch slaps all the time already, but those ain't enough to break the programming, to wake some people up, and I understand it. Anyway, get out of the sympathetic nervous system. It's used sparingly and when it's actually needed, and then we should come out of that state immediately. It's just like fight or flight. We go hunt with the boss or whatever, or in the modern freaking system if you wanna do that. Have some business meetings here and there that are a little stressful. But even that, who's gonna do that? The key point here is you should not be in the sympathetic nervous system pretty much most of the time just be in the parasympathetic nervous system. That's when everything is in harmony. Everything just works. You in sync with the nature. And then use the sympathetic nervous system when you need to. And you can use it easily. You can tap into that easily when your body is actually working like it's supposed to. These people are just running on that adrenaline. And their bodies are deteriorating like a motherfucker. Anyway, that's about it. Long video. Thanks for watching. See you later if I survive another day doing my best science. I get the best sciences.